What is it about communication that continues to be a challenge for leaders, teams, and people altogether? Communication is at the foundation of everything that we do as people, working with others, and in a day-to-day environment, we're communicating. So Season 5 addressed all of those things, communication. And if you missed any of those episodes, this is going to be a good recap to catch you up. Stay tuned. Welcome, everybody, to the Leaders Leading Leaders podcast. Hey, everyone, John here. Welcome to the Leaders Leading Leaders podcast. I cannot believe that we have already gotten to the end of Season 5. This has been such a roller coaster for me. Thank you for everybody who has continued to listen. Thank you for the new listeners out there, and welcome to the Go Be Great community. If this is your first episode, this is a great episode because it is a recap of Season 5. I always do an introduction of the season, and then I do a nice recap. So if you ever miss any one of the episodes, which I encourage you not to miss, those season recaps are a good way to get a high-level highlight of everything that we have talked about in that particular season. And this one I enjoyed because it's all about communication. And as leaders, we communicate every single day. So if you like what you're hearing, I would encourage you, click on that subscribe button. It always helps us get this message to as many people as we possibly can, and it keeps you informed whenever we publish new episodes. So let's talk about Season 5 because I've shared some personal stories around communication. I struggled with communication since grade school, really. I can remember not wanting to really talk in a large group setting. I tend to sit in the back of the classroom. I'm introverted by nature. So a lot of what I had to do was push myself to get out and start communicating. I did not initiate conversations, and that was in large groups and in a one-on-one setting. I can trace back my graduate education. When I was in college, I was in a master's program, and it was through the College of Education. And a lot of what we did, we started to be put into groups. And each time we had a presentation, they didn't let us out the easy way of the same person doing the presentation. We had to pick different people. And I can remember I didn't sleep for a week when it was my turn. I mean, everything from stomach aches to just anxiety about getting up in front of people and speaking. And we would develop a presentation, mostly PowerPoint slides, and it wasn't a very long presentation. We probably 7 to 10 minute presentation, but it felt like an eternity. And so I go back there because that's where I came from. And if you're in a similar spot, if you get anxious about giving a presentation, small setting, large setting. I'm not talking about getting up in front of a group and public speaking. It used to be 1 to 5, 1 to 12. Our class sizes were pretty small, and it impacted me quite a bit. If that is you, I would encourage you to go back, take a listen to the episodes, because we're going to break down communication challenges and how to overcome those challenges. We talked about that. We talked about communication fails. I shared some of my communication fails with you. I was pretty open and honest around challenges that I faced growing up, trying to communicate. I still face. Today I shared one over on the TikTok account about a communication fails that I had today. So check that account out as well. But you know, when you think about communication in the world that we live in today, it's not just face to face. I'm doing right now, I'm talking into a camera lens. Now, I have all you all out there listening, so that encourages me because I'm talking to you, I'm having a conversation. But just think about it. I went from being nervous talking to people, and now I'm talking directly into a camera lens to the World Wide Web, to my YouTube channel, to everybody out there, all my supporters and listeners. I've come a long way, but that wasn't easy. I had a lot of bumps along the way, and I'm sure you will too. So if communication is one of those things that you struggle with, you're not alone. You're not alone. I was there in your shoes. And if I can sit here in front of a camera, and by the way, this is our new camera. This is the first episode that we are recording on a studio upgrade, and I'm super stoked about it. So I hope you see the difference. We try to do everything we possibly can to enhance this channel, to make sure that you, the listener, are getting the best possible video, audio, as you're listening and as you're watching, because we want this to add value to you. But for me, I'm talking into a camera now. That's a huge thing. If I can do it, you can do it. I promise you. So communication challenges across different modalities, whether it's in a virtual environment. We talked about leading virtual teams. I onboarded into a new organization virtually. I had my team spread from Washington State to Washington, D.C., and I had to communicate with them. I had to connect with them. I had to develop a relationship with them. And oh, by the way, I had to lead them. So some of the tips and tricks, I've shared some of those in this season. I did a couple different episodes this season, so I'd like some feedback on that and go back, take a listen. I got a lot of questions around books that I read, so I thought, why not do a book review, an old-fashioned book report. I used to hate reading. Now, it's really all I do is listen to audiobooks, listen to podcasts, or I'm reading a book. I'm constantly being a better version of myself so I can pour into my team, pour into my family, pour into others, and reading is a part of that. So James Clear's Atomic Habits, I took the highlights that I took away from it, and I shared that with you in one of the episodes for this season. And I also took a topic outside of communication, but I related it to the overall theme, and we talked about loneliness. Loneliness when you step into a leadership role for the first time, as you come out of that individual contributor role, and now you're leading people, now you're leading others. It can be very lonely at times. So I talked through that. I shared some of my experiences, and last but not least, I always try to leave you all with some practical takeaways that you can go implement as soon as you finish listening. So I hope that season 5, exciting for you as it was for me. Communication, we're going to talk about communication all throughout this podcast. This isn't the last time or the last episode that you're going to hear about communication, because it is in everything that we do in leadership. It is the foundation of all that we do in leadership, connecting with people, being relatable, and most of all, making sure that people feel seen and that we maintain that relationship as being the most interested person and not the most interesting person in the room. So thank you all for continuing to subscribe, continuing to listen in. I hope season 5 added value to your life, added value, just one takeaway that you could go and it made you a better leader. I know just talking to you, a lot of times I'm talking to myself. And so I learn from these episodes, hopefully as much as you all are learning and taking away and sharing with all of your loved ones, sharing with your family and friends, sharing with your colleagues. That makes us all better. And when we as leaders get better, the team gets better. So stay tuned. Go be great. We'll talk to everyone later. Bye. If you like what you're hearing, do us a favor. Click on that subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up or leave a comment. That lets us know that what we are putting out benefits you. If you want additional information or resources or learn how to work with me, head on over to thejohnespinosa.com, because when we become better versions of ourselves, it helps us get others to where they're going. Go be great. Talk to everyone later.